What's up, guys? I got two workouts in one vlog for you guys today, mainly because I didn't film enough during this workout because my elbow started bugging me a little bit. Fortunately, it wasn't bugging me in the joint, it was bugging me on the tricep tendon, so something slightly different, but probably because I was working on those triceps quite a lot during my rehab and probably overdid it a little bit. So anyway, started off day 2 with snatch push press into snatch balance. This is when I really started feeling that elbow, so I only went up to 225 for this session. That was a relatively light weight for me, but I just built up in slow increments, and yeah. I honestly don't know why this one changed format, but I'm going to leave it because, well, fuck it. So yeah, built up to that 225. The 225 felt okay, but again, I just didn't want to push the elbow too much because I wasn't sure at the time exactly what was going on with it. I had intended on doing some squat jerk work, so I just put the empty barbell up, and again, that elbow was just having a little bit of issue with it, so I kind of opted to, well, stop at just the empty bar. But as you can see, as I'm walking away, I'm rubbing on that tendon, not rubbing on the actual joint since the injury prior was below the joint on that radius. Instead of the scheduled shoulder work, I opted for back work instead, starting off with some pendlay rows. I went light for 3 to 5 sets of 15. Again, just focusing on that middle back. And yeah, focusing on power, keeping those hamstrings nice and long, and really pulling. So now we're on to day 3. Day 3 was a speed day, so that means lightweight banded box squats. I was only sitting at 215 pounds on the band with a moderately heavy band on the bar as well. I had 12 sets of 3 of these guys, and they were all every minute on the minute, so it was all EMOM density training work. Pretty easy, but at the same time, the entire emphasis of this session was speed, so that's meant to be easy, just fast. Now I'm obviously trying to build my back up a little bit, but I think that's it's building nice and wide. I just need to get a little thicker, I think. But here's a shot of my back just to show you guys where that progress is at, and now let's go back to squats. So they were moving pretty decently. I chose the 20-inch box because that particular spot is typically my sticking point when I'm coming up from the bottom of a squat, so that's why I'm emphasizing that depth. Again, just focusing on that drive, focusing on the quads, and also focusing a little extra on my left leg drive because apparently I'm pretty weak off that left leg. At least, I just get a lot more sore in my right leg than my left leg, and my left leg is smaller, so I presume I'm doing more work with my right. I don't have any hip shift or anything like that, but I still presume that my left is just doing a little less work. So anyway, as I was going through this session, I was keeping tabs on how my elbow was doing. It was doing okay, but there was a little bit of tension in that tricep tendon. So what I actually opted for after my squats was to head over to the dip and hold the bottom of the dip for 3 sets of 15-second isometrics. I didn't film it, but I was actually really shaky on that exercise, and it did show me that I have a lot of issues in terms of holding tension through my shoulders, chest, and triceps. So that isometric hold is something that I'm going to be implementing basically every single day. It's not abusive, but it is going to help just increase the health of those joints that I've been having some issues with. And as you guys know, that dip machine definitely is one of my nemesises because that's how I fractured my elbow in the first place. And this is what I do in between sets. I kind of just sit there staring at the clock, wiggling my feet, and playing with my calluses. So anyway, back to the squats. This is my second squat day of the week. I will be having one more squat day in the week as well. Now the last thing that I filmed was my lift-offs. I just went at 50% for about 5 sets of 8 or however many I end up doing. Biggest emphasis for this for me was staying over the bar and pushing with my quads and allowing those knees to draw back. A lot of the time my knees don't draw back far enough. I don't end up hitting the knees, but it does get the bar just a little bit off my body, which I'm not a fan of. So this is why I'm overdrawing my first pull on these reps. So anyway, this was a lower bias session, so I did actually go on to the leg press for some close stance leg press after this, though I didn't film that because that's really boring. But I'm really trying to build my quads up. My quads are a weak point right now. My hamstrings and hips are a strong point, so I'm trying to build that up in addition to my shoulders and back. Obviously also hammering on my upper body, but that's for tomorrow, and I will make sure I post that session tomorrow evening for you guys. That's all I got for you guys, so as I toss my straps, I'll say goodbye.